Hi guys, welcome to Easy Ass Engineering. Today we're looking at depreciation. So the first type of depreciation we're going to be looking at is sum of the years depreciation. This is pretty simple stuff, guys. Once you do a problem or two, it's always the same. It doesn't really change. So let's read the problem first. Some special handling devices can be bought for $12,000. At the end of 4 years, they can be sold for $3,500. Determine the book value of these assets after 3 years of depreciation using sum of the years depreciation. So I've put out the formulas that you're going to need for you to solve any question like this. So you need to know the actual value of the SOID, and that's the formula 1 plus n times n over 2. So n is your lifetime of the product, so 4 years. And then I put the formula for the depreciation at a specific year, t, where p is your initial cost, s is your salvage value. In this problem, it's $3,500. N is your lifetime, t is what year you're at, and SOID is found from here. So in this equation, n is 4, so 1 plus 4 times 4 over 2 gives you 10. So before we start calculating our depreciation at specific years, we're going to have to make a nice table. So our first column will be the time. Our second column will be the depreciation at time t. And our last column will be the book value. So book value is the actual present worth of that item if you were for accounting or bookkeeping purposes, so at time t. So we know that our P equals 12,000 and our S equals 3,500. So applying the depreciation formula, well, before we get to that, let's just note that at year, let's list the year 0, 1, 2, all the way to n, which is 4. We know that at time 0, there's no depreciation value, and the book value is what you paid for, so 12,000. So now we're going to jump straight to year 1. So depreciation at year 1 is equal to P minus S, 12,000 minus 3,500 times n4, and t is at year 1, so minus 1 plus 1 all over SOID, which we found before, is 10. So this cancels out, this cancels out. Solving this, we end up getting a value of 3,400. So that's how much the item has depreciated after 1 year, 3,400. So that's how much right there. So our book value is not going to be 12,000 anymore. It's going to be subtracted 3,400, giving us a value of 8,600. Let's just go on to year 2. So this value never changes, the P minus S. So it's always going to be 8,500 in this case. So following the formula, 8,500 times n, which is 4, always stays the same, minus the year we're at, so 2 plus 1, all over SOID, 10. We end up getting a value of 2,550. That's our depreciation for year 2. Subtracted from 8,600, you get 6,050. And finally, the question is asking you for the book value after 3 years. I already circled the answer, but doesn't matter. So at year 3, 8,500 stays the same as usual, and it's always 4, and we're at year 3, plus the 1 that's always there, divide by 10, getting an answer of 1,700. And finally, subtracting 1,700 from 6,050 gives you a value of 4,350. And that is our answer. Alright, so the next problem, we're going to be using a method called declining balance depreciation. So this is really easy as well. It's just a formula and you just plug it and chug. So a manufacturing equipment was acquired for $12,000. Determine the book value of this equipment after 3 years of depreciation using declining balance with a rate of 30%. So let's write down our givens right away. So we know that the cost is $12,000 and the depreciation rate is 30%, which is equal to 0.30. And they're asking for the book value at year 3. So let's start off by writing our formulas. So the standard formula for the depreciation value amount at a specific year t is equal to your depreciation rate times your book value at t minus 1. So the previous book value, you'll see what I mean in a minute. So let's set up a nice table over here. Always do a table for these kinds of problems. So it's asking for after 3 years. So you know that our n is equal to 3 in this case. Whoops. N equals 3 years. So we're going to go all the way up to 3. So let's set up a table over here where t, why is it always doing that? Sorry guys. T is our first column. So it's what year we're at. So let's go all the way to 3 and 3. The t, which is the amount of depreciation at a specific time t, and the book value. That's time t. So let's start at year 0. We know that there's no depreciation at year 0. We just either bought the item, so it still has its own value, $12,000. So let's start at year 1, right? Let's replace this with year 1 and see what happens. D1 is equal to your depreciation rate, 0.30, multiplied by the book value at year 1 minus 1, so at year 0. So at year 0, our book value is $12,000. And this gives us a value of $3,600. So that's the depreciation that happens after 1 year, $3,600. So to get our actual book value at year 1, you just take 12,000 and you subtract it with 3,600. And you end up getting 8,400 bucks. So let's go to year 2 here. Same thing. 0.30 rate always stays the same, times the previous year's book value, 8,400. And you end up getting a value of 2,520. So the depreciation at year 2 is another $2,520. So 8,400 minus 2,520, 5,880. And let's do the final year, D3. I don't know why it keeps doing that. D3, it's still doing it. Alright, D3 equals 0.30 times the previous year's book value, giving us an answer of 1764. And the answer to this problem will be 5,880 minus 1764. $4,116. That is our answer, which is the last one. Alright, let's take the previous example that we just did and do the straight line depreciation method with it. So, from what we remember, our given cost was 12,000 and our salvage value was 3,500. And our year's lifespan was 4 years. So, the formulas we need for this kind of problem, the straight line depreciation is the easiest one really. The depreciation at a specific year is equal to P minus salvage over N. So let's construct a little table here. We're going to go all the way to 4 years. So, gotta fix that, it keeps happening. T, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Depreciation value and book value. So at year 0, we got nothing going on, so the book value is 12,000. So at year 1, we're going to go for P minus S over N, so 8,500 over 4. Sorry, then that gives us $21.25. So for year 1, it's $21.25, and you just subtract 12,000 by that number, you get $98.75. Alright, so if we go to year 2, the formula P minus S over N never changes, so we can conclude that for straight line depreciation, the depreciation is always the same. It's going to be $21.25 for this, equals D3 equals D4. So $21.25, $21.25, $21.25. Subtracting down the last column, $77.50. And $77.50 minus $21.25, $56.25. And $56.25 minus $21.25, $3,500. So at the end of year 3, with straight line depreciation, we get $56.25 as our value. Notice that at year 4, the book value is that of the salvage value. And that's normal because the problem states that we can sell the item at year 4 for a salvage value of $3,500. And that's how you know that you did it correctly, is because you end up with the salvage value at the last year. Alright, let's take a look at the last method of depreciation I want to talk about today, is the double declining balance depreciation. Well, I wrote depreciation twice, very nice. Alright, so we're going to use the same problem as the last one because it's convenient. So we knew that our original cost was $12,000 and our salvage was $3,500 and our number of years for the life was 4. So let's just jot down the depreciation amount formula for double declining balance. So to find the depreciation at a specific year, you take 2 over the lifespan times the book value at the previous year. So we're going to start this problem by drawing up the usual table. T and depreciation value and book value at times T. Alright. So, like usual, at year 0, there's no depreciation, and our initial value is 12,000. So, it's asking for the depreciation at the book value, at year 3. Alright, so let's just do year 1, 2, 3. Alright, so the depreciation at year 1 is equal to 2 over 4 times the book value at the previous year, 12,000. So basically 1/2 of 12,000 is 6,000. So 12,000 minus 6,000 gives you 6,000. It's pretty huge depreciation right there after 1 year. So D2 would be 2 over 4, stays the same, times 6. So this item depreciates by half each year. Oops. I'm jumping ahead. Sorry, guys. And there. And there's a 3 here. Sorry, this is a 3. That's a 3. It's not going to help. Times 3,000 equals 1,500. So our final book value would be 1,500. That's a nice color. So depending on which method you use for depreciation, you're going to get different values. We'll get like 1,500 for this one. We got 4116 for the other ones. Well, that's it. Pretty simple stuff, guys. Apply a couple formulas, make a table, get your answer. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.